This has been a story that I have never forgotten out of so many other cases I've done, especially in SS-15. The Lai One case would be just one of them. There are two suspects in this case. We have a student aged 21 named Jacob, who turns out to be one of the victim's closest friends. The second suspect witness named Sharon, who is the same age as Jacob, and she is also one of Lai One's closest friends, but also is called an intimate relationship. Jacob tells me that before the murder took place, he was on the way back from his classes when he saw Lai One talking to someone. He could not identify the person Lai One was talking to, but he was able to somehow overhear the conversation they're having. Jacob claims from what he has heard and witnessed, Lai One purchasing well over 5,000 worth of drugs, as the transaction was taking place on that day. Now it was time for Sharon's side of the case. Sharon was also the friend of Lai One. I could tell she seemed devastated of what has happened to her friend or lover. When she was required to attend a class that day before the last appearance of Lai One, since she commutes her classes by metro, she found her lover down at the ground floor of the station as she was coming down by an escalator. Lai One was on the phone with someone. He then rushed off without even noticing Sharon's existence at the scene. Sharon then found a receipt that Lai One dropped at where he left. That receipt was a sum of 5,000 ringgit with an ID of the transaction not known by her. After she handed me the receipt, she told me she had to rush home as she had some sort of termite problem in her place. So I let her go. The next day, walking on the boba lane, I received feedback from the forensics that the cause of Lai One's death was actually the poisoning of termite poison. It's a pesticide. Could it be Sharon? Wasn't she the one that had to leave because of a termite problem? And if it is her, why? As I was gathering my thoughts, Jacob happened to appear to me, asking about the current progress of the case. He seemed unfazed about his best friend's death, until I saw a trash bag on his hand. I casually asked him what was inside of it. He nervously replied to me that his dorm did not throw the trash, so he decided to take care of it himself. So I accepted that answer from him, and we parted ways peacefully, and I went back to my investigation process. As I was trying to find the final missing piece to lead me to the culprit, until I finally found the suspect behind all of this. So I had brought both of the suspects back into the final questioning and reveal of the result. The one thing I did was to show them the vital part of the evidence, starting with Jacob. Come on. Did you really think I wouldn't think if something was suspicious about the garbage bag he was holding that day? Jacob then confessed that he was the one that poisoned his best friend. It turns out, when Sharon saw Lai One at this train station on the phone, he was talking to Jacob. Jacob wanted to meet up with him at the noodle restaurant that they always visit. Jacob had intentions to kill his best friend, as he became jealous of him, as he had feelings for Sharon, but she ended up with Lai One. So when they met on that day, Laiwen went to the bathroom, so Jacob poured in the termite poison into his drink before he returned. As Laiwen and Jacob finished their meal and their last hangout, they of course parted their ways, and the poison took effect, and Laiwen then collapsed at the area where he was found deadened. Sharon was unaware that Jacob would use the poison which came from her, as she was told that his house had termites infested, not for Laiwen's death plot. So Jacob was taken to custody. Sharon may not know it yet, but she often forgets how a detective like myself can find out her tracks. Sharon did not expect the fact that I actually analyzed the ID on that receipt she gave me that day. That actually matched her banking account. Sharon confesses that she was the one who was actually giving the drugs to her lover, Laiwen, only in exchange for his love for her, as she was being abused by him on multiple occasions in their relationship. Sharon did not tell anyone of the abuse that she endured. As a detective, I decided to persuade her lawyers to convince the judges to give her a fine. I may not have been equally harsh on Sharon as she could have received the death penalty, but at times as a detective, as a human being, you would either go on with the law without any altercations in your judgment of individuals. Some do legal actions. Some do illegal actions for either the good or for the worst of intentions. Some victims of the cases aren't always as innocent as they seem until you piece up the full picture. After the case has been closed, as is 15, communities seem to perceive that events such as these would be the first, but will be the last. Things will be back the way they were, as they perceive. People believe the professionals behind these investigations can be the saviors of the areas in which they roam. Would places with people remain as innocent as they can be? Or will they really?